remember the Divine Master and pray for the peace and prosperity of all the people. Hari Om Tat Om Sthapakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Sthapakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who has given the ocean of spiritual ideas, who has set model for all the spiritual aspirants to reach the goal, to have the vision of the Divine Spirit. Just now I have chanted peace mantras. If you concentrate on the meaning of the mantra, it becomes clear that you will get peace only when the ignorance is dispelled. You will be well established in peace only when you are able to discriminate what is real, what is not real. You will be able to reach the goal if you are well established in your convictions about spiritual ideas, and when you are ready to give up everything that is falsehood. Peace is obtained only as the end result. Sri Ramakrishna said, broadly speaking, there are two yogas. One is karma yoga, another is mano yoga. Karma yoga deals with action, engaging yourself totally in intense activity. The second one is engaging your mind in the spiritual ideas. Both of them lead you to the goal. But one has to be careful in his path. Slight carelessness means your downfall from the spiritual heights. We are familiar with accidents in the worldly sense. It is true with spiritual life also. If you are not careful enough on practicing discipline, there is every possibility of meeting with spiritual accident. So Sri Ramakrishna tells very clearly, you should take precautionary measures right before it goes beyond your control. Don't just simply play away with the time. Now the time is for me to enjoy this world. If you think that way, you will be lost in the current of enjoyment. You will lose your inner spiritual personality totally. The effect of enjoyment is such that it doesn't allow you to rise you towards the reality. It binds you more and more. The more you are seeking to enjoy, the more you are binding yourself tightly to the world. That means you yourself are making the way to bind. You yourself have become the cause of bondage. Bondage means intense attachment to the worldly life, worldly ideas, worldly activities, worldly associations, worldly glamours, worldly temptations. If your mind doesn't become absorbed in divine spirit, if you are not showing any inclination to make your mind sit at the spiritual idea, it will be impossible for you to protect yourself from dangerous temptations of the world. If you are trying to go in the spiritual way, as you keep on making progresses on the path of spirituality, you are confronted by many kinds of temptations, cravings such as lust and gold, name and fame, power and position. All these, they try to grab you again. If you just show any slightest inclination towards these, you will be going farther away from the divine spirit. Unless you beware of this thief in the form of cravings, he will steal all the goodness in you. And you will drown in the bottomless ocean of worldliness. How dangerous it is. How foolishly we are just ignoring the dangerous situation. The tempting objects of the world lie before your eyes in all their glittering and delusive splendor, so that you feel no need even to consider the probability of anything higher or grander. You may hear about the higher ideal of life. You may be attending Tuesday classes regularly. The spiritual ideas may constantly touch your ears, but you rationalize by asking yourself, what guarantee there is that God can be known or that a greater joy can be reached? So, he manufactures his own reasoning and sees no reason why he should give up today's pleasure for tomorrow's promise. Thinking thus, you jump further into the fire until burned, until frustrated, until you realize your folly. Then you long for peace. You run helter-skelter, searching for peace. But often the longing comes too late. So enslaved, your mind has become. Even though you may earnestly desire to change your ways, you are helpless to do so in this life. Because the mind and body have been shattered, and now you can't discipline them. So, Sri Ramakrishna tells, don't be carried away by all these dirty temptations of the world. The world is full of temptations which arouse passions. Every day you will see 99% of the people rushing in mad pursuit after sensual pleasures. That means the mind is in constant danger of becoming contaminated. So you should be careful. If you are not careful, you have to pay very high price. So Sri Ramakrishna tells you, engage your mind in thinking good thoughts. Instill spiritual ideas into your mind. Somehow try to get interested in study of these books, good to you, and discussing uplifting subjects. Without giving any reason or arguments, try to spend some time in worship of God, in service to holy men, and in contemplation. You will have to mold your character. Then only you will be blessed by the vision of the Divine Spirit. Swami Turiyananda ji, one of the great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, who got direct training from Sri Ramakrishna and who got illumination in the very life. He said, while talking to the disciples, what we see in this world, just observe what is going on, what is happening. People are absorbed in sense enjoyment, eating, sleeping, and sexual pleasure. Whole life is gone in this way. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, the rice merchants, they take all precautions to protect the rice produce from the garden. If they don't take care of it properly, the whole rice will be destroyed by the rats. So what they do, they put parched rice, etc. at the very door, so that the rats enter the storeroom. But they not touch the rice, but they are just being engaged in eating the parched rice. As soon as the rats come, what do? They set themselves to eating those things, what is scattered around. Inside there are the bags of rice, but the rats get no scent of them in any manner, because their whole attention is on the scattered parched rice outside. They are not aware. Huge stock of rice is there in the store. In the same way, Maya, the power of illusion, the power of ignorance, has kept man deluded with tempting things, gold and lust. People cannot go beyond them and get at the rice bags that is God. This world is like a labyrinth. Once one enters it, one finds no way out. Entry only, no exit. With human birth, there comes an opportunity to get out. But of what avail is it? Man forgets all, busy always with the things pertaining to the senses. Morning to night, he's busy, busy, busy. As the day progresses, he becomes more and more busy. Never think that you are safe. Temptations come as long as you live. There is a statement in the Yoga Vasishta. It says, if one moves about with discrimination as one's friend, one doesn't fall prey even to great temptations. And that is actually true. If one maintains discrimination steady and strong, no illusion can ever overpower a man. If you constantly remember that the world is unreal because it's constantly changing, what can desires do? Another disciple, Swami Ramakrishna ji, he said, referring to the same subject, temptation, samsara is a place of great temptation. Nobody denies it. But do you know that strong adverse winds serve but to confirm the roots of a weak tree? The good moral principles which are now not so strong in you are sure to get firmly rooted by an incessant struggle with temptations. So, Sri Ramakrishna tells, always have good association. Very important. You must position yourself in proper environment, situation. You must have certain climatic conditions to evolve yourself spiritually. You can't expect spiritual revolution in marketplace, in a bar, in a restaurant. Think about these ideas seriously. Whatever the span of life we have got, how much time is already spent in so many things. Still we are not learning. What a tragedy. Well, there is no way. Everybody wants to get himself burnt, then learn the lesson. All right? Have a great fun. Have a great fun. So with these comments, I close my comments about my last reading, page 388. It was about 8 o'clock in the evening. Sri Ramakrishna asked Mahima Charan to recite a few hymns from the scriptures. Mahima read the first verse of the Uttara Gita describing the nature of the Supreme Brahman. He, Brahman, is one partless, stainless and beyond the ether, without beginning or end, unknowable by mind or intelligence. Finally, he came to the 7th verse of the 3rd chapter, which reads, "The twice-born worships the deity in fire." That is the Brahmin. The Munis contemplate him in the heart. Men of limited wisdom see him in the image. And the yogis who have attained same-sightedness behold him everywhere. No sooner did the master hear the words, "the yogis who have attained same-sightedness," than he stood up and went into samadhi, his arms supported by the splint and bondage. Speechless, the devotees looked at this yogi who had himself attained the state of same-sightedness. After a long time, the master regained consciousness of the outer world and took his seat. He asked Mahima to recite verses describing the love of God. The latter recited from the Narada Pancharatra. What need is there of penance if God is worshipped with love? What is the use of penance if God is not worshipped with love? What need is there of penance if God is seen within and without? What is the use of penance if God is not seen within and without? O Brahman, O my child, cease from practicing further penances. O Brahman, O my child, cease from practicing further penances. Hasten to Shankara, the ocean of heavenly wisdom. Obtain from him the love of God, the pure love praised by devotees, which snaps in twain the shackles that bind you to the world. Master said, ah. On hearing these verses, the master was about to go again into an ecstatic mood. but he restrained himself with effort. Mahima read from the Yati Panchaka. I am she, the Divine Mother, in whom the illusion of the universe of animate and inanimate things is seen, as in magic, and in whom the universe shines, being the play of our mind. I am she, the embodiment of consciousness, who is the self of the universe, the only existence, knowledge and bliss. When the Master heard the line, I am she, the embodiment of consciousness, he said with a smile, whatever is in the microcosm is also in the macrocosm. Next, Mahima read the 6 stanzas of Nirvana. Om, I am neither mind, intelligence, ego, nor chitta, neither ears, nor tongue, nor the senses of smell and sight, nor am I ether, earth, fire, water or air. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. I am neither the prana, nor the 5 vital breaths, neither the 7 elements of the body, nor its 5 sheets, nor hands, nor feet, nor tongue, nor the organs of sex and voiding. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Neither loathing nor liking have I, neither greed nor delusion. No sense have I of ego or pride, neither dharma nor moksha, neither desire of the mind nor object for its desiring. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Neither right nor wrongdoing am I, neither pleasure nor pain, nor the mantra, the sacred place, the Vedas, the sacrifice, neither the act of eating, the eater, nor the food. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Death or fear I have none, nor any distinction of caste, neither father, nor mother, nor even a birth have I. Neither friend nor comrade, neither disciple nor guru. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. I have no form or fancy, the all-pervading am I. Everywhere I exist, yet I am beyond the senses. Neither salvation am I, nor anything that may be known. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Each time Mahima repeated, I am Shiva, I am Shiva, the Master rejoined with a smile, not I, not I, thou art knowledge absolute. Mahima read a few more verses and also a description of the 6 psychic centers of the body. He said that in Benares he had witnessed the death of a yogi in the state of yoga. Mahima said, there are fine passages in the Ramagita, Master said. You are speaking of the Ramagita? Then you must be a staunch Vedantist. How many books of that kind the sadhus used to read here? Mahima recited the description of Om. It is like the unceasing flow of oil, like the long peal of a bell. About the characteristics of Samadhi he read, the man established in Samadhi sees the upper region filled with Atman, the nether region filled with Atman, the middle region filled with Atman. He sees all filled with Atman. Adhar and Mahima saluted the Master and departed. At noon the following day, after his midday meal, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the small couch when Ram, Surendra and a few other devotees arrived from Calcutta. They were worried about the Master's injured arm. The arm was bandaged, M was present. Master to the devotees, the mother has put me in such a state of mind that I cannot hide anything from anyone. Mine is the condition of a child. Rakal doesn't understand it. He covers my injured arm, wrapping my body with a cloth, lest others should see my injury and criticize me. He took Dr. Madhu aside and reported my illness. But I shouted and said, "Hello, where are you, Madhusudan? Come and see, my arm is broken." I used to sleep in the same room with Mathur and his wife. They took care of me as if I were their own child. I was then passing through a state of divine madness. Mathur would ask me, "Father, do you hear our conversation?" "Yes," I would reply. Once Mathur's wife became suspicious of his movements and said to him, that is, to Madhur Babu, "If you go anywhere, he must accompany you." He means the master. One day, Mathur went to a certain place and asked me to wait downstairs. He returned after half an hour and said to me, "Come, father, let us go now. The carriage is waiting." When Madhur's wife asked me about it, I reported the thing correctly. I said to her, "We went to a certain house. He told me to stay downstairs and himself went upstairs. He came down after half an hour and we left the place." Of course, she understood the thing in her own way. A partner of Mathur's estate used to take fruits and vegetables stealthily from the temple garden. When the other partners asked me about it, I told them the exact truth. Sri Ramakrishna was resting in his room after his midday meal, and Mani Malik was sitting on the floor beside him. When M arrived, M saluted the master and sat down beside Mani. The master's injured arm was bandaged. Master said to M, asked him, "How did you come?" M replied, "I came as far as Alam Bazaar in a carriage, and from there I walked." Manilal said, "Oh, he is so hot." Master, with a smile, said, "This makes me think that all these are not mere fancies of my brain. Otherwise, why should these Englishmen take so much trouble to come here?" Sri Ramakrishna began to talk to them about his health and his injured arm. Master said, "Now and then I become impatient about my arm. I show it to this or that man and ask him whether I shall get well again. That makes Rakal angry. He doesn't understand my mood. Now and then I say to myself, let him go away. Again I say to the mother, Mother, where will he go? Why should he burn himself in the frying pan of the world? Frying pan of the world. This childlike impatience of mine is nothing new. I used to ask Mathur Babu to feel my pulse and tell me whether I was ill. Well, where then is my faith in God? Once I was going to Kamarpakur in a bullock cart when several persons came up to the cart with clubs in their hands. They looked like highwaymen. I began to chant the names of the gods. Sometimes I repeated the names of Rama and Durga, and sometimes Om Tat Sat, so that in case one failed, another would work. To M, can you tell me why I am so impatient? M said, your mind, sir, is always absorbed in samadhi. You have kept a fraction of it on your body for the welfare of the devotees. Therefore you feel impatient now and then for your body's safety. Master said, that is true. A little of the mind is attached to the body. It wants to enjoy the love of God and the company of the devotees. Mani Malik told the master about an exhibition that was being held in Calcutta He described a beautiful image of Yashoda with the baby Krishna on her lap. Sri Ramakrishna's eyes filled with tears. On hearing about Yashoda, the embodiment of maternal love, his spiritual consciousness was kindled and he wept. Manilal said, "If you were not unwell, you could visit the exhibition in the Maidan." Master to M and the others, "I shall not be able to see everything even if I go. Perhaps my eyes will fall on some certain thing and I shall become unconscious. Then I shall not be able to see the rest. I was taken to the zoological garden. I went into samadhi at the sight of the lion, for the carrier, in Hindu mythology, the lion is the carrier of Durga, the Divine Mother. The carrier of the mother awakened in my mind the consciousness of the mother herself. In that state, who could see the other animals? I had to return home after seeing only the lion. Hence Jadu Malik's mother first suggested that I should go to the exhibition and then said I should not." Mani Malik, about 65 years old, had been a member of the Brahma Samaj for many years, and Sri Ramakrishna gave him instruction that would agree with his mood. We shall stop there. If you are not very careful about how you behave yourself, you may fall back from the ideal. That is spiritual excellence. You see, for example, you are sitting for meditation. If you become attracted towards some people on account of some reason, it disturbs your meditation. You can't meditate properly. That is accident. To give one example, of course, I have to take from Bhagavad. There was Bharat. Probably you might have heard of it. Bharat, story of Bharata. A very great king, very magnanimous, very devoted king. He handed over the charge to his children and retired to the forest. He constructed cottage, himself constructed the cottage, lived on the shore of a river. Every day he would go and take bath and do meditation regularly. And his mind was so refined, so sattvic. He had number of visions and he used to feel joy and joy. But one day it so happened, when he went to take bath in the river, he saw a small baby deer floating in the river alive. He was moved by compassion. He immediately jumped into the river. He brought that baby, looked after it well, and it began to show its love, that deer. And it developed in such a way, he got intense attachment towards that. Whenever the deer goes somewhere else, he would shout, "Where are you, my dear? Where are you?" Immediately it would come back. So like that. It so happened, he could not do meditation properly. Previously he used to spend most of the time in meditation. Now most of the time he is spending on thinking about the deer. And when he was about to pass away, he just remembering the deer, what will happen to the deer after my death. With that idea he passed away. Then he was born as deer itself in the next birth. But because he had done so much of spiritual disciplines earlier, those are not in waste. They had created such impression in him. Because of that impression, he had that memory power. He could remember his past birth. In his previous life, I had this accident. Because my mind was dragged down by the deer, I allowed my mind to be attached to that. This life I should never allow to be drifted anyway. Like that he decided upon, and he didn't want to go away from the hermitage where the rishis used to live, and he just silently he would move about there, and finally he passed away. Again he took another birth. In that birth he is called as Jada Bharat. Jada Bharata's life. Of course life goes like that. It is distraction. You see, distraction true, but how the distraction grabbed you, that is accident. See, you are not at that point of time, maybe a fraction of a second, you just drifted the mind, so the mind was grabbed by it. Finished. Fraction of a second. Accident takes place how much time? Within a fraction of a second only accident occurs. Spiritual life also like that. See, you are jumping from one set of temptation to another set of temptation. But temptation is temptation. So like that you must always discriminate, always, till you realize the truth. You must keep on fighting the temptations on one side. On the other side, positively, you must keep on thinking deeply over the spiritual ideas and trying to focus fully upon the truth, so that you may have the experience of the truth. The importance is, you must be aware of the accidents. Don't think because you have taken spiritual life that you have become a saint and you are a teacher of the whole world and running about here and there. That is not correct. That's the purpose of my telling that. So spiritual accident, suppose I gave that incident from the scriptures. To give the incident from the what happened in Sri Ramakrishna's lifetime itself, that I will give you now. Sri Ramakrishna was visiting Jadu Malik garden, a great devotee, Jadu Malik or Shambhu Malik. So, after the visit was over, it was late in the dark, and Sri Ramakrishna was to return back to Dakshineshwar temple. There was no street lights during those days. It was pitch dark. How to go? So he was just thinking about ways and means of reaching the place. Then there was one devotee. He said, "Master, don't worry. See here." He lifted his arm. From the armpit, a glow of light emanated, reaching up to the temple. Then he said, "Master, you please walk now. You are seeing this light, walk through." Sri Ramakrishna said, "Don't show your spiritual power that way, because your mind gets locked up in showing your power this way to people. Never get distracted. I will withdraw that power from you." Sri Ramakrishna said that. And there was another person, another devotee. He, of course, the name of these two devotees are Girija and Chandra, the names. This another devotee developed such invisible power, he could not be seen by anybody, but he can go anywhere. He developed that power. There are so many powers. The whole universe is full of power only. The whole universe is power manifested. So, what this devotee did, what he should have done, he should have ignored that power and continued his meditation. He would have gone further and he would have got the final state of liberation. But Sri Ramakrishna warned him. Do you know what happened? Because he developed that power. Using that power, he developed friendship with a young girl in a rich man's house. Finally, he had love affair with that girl. Then the whole thing, after some time, came to be known by everybody, and everybody became very angry. So he continues like that. Then afterwards that person became very much repentant. He felt too much bad about what he did. So he literally ran from the place to Dakshineshwar to see Sri Ramakrishna. Without any cloth, just he had only one towel he had worn, that's all. Just he ran with so much of repentance, weeping and weeping and weeping throughout, from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar temple. He just dashed into the temple, inquiring about Master. But Master had passed away. He was not alive at that time. But because he had association with Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna had warned him, so everything worked very nicely, but he had to pass through so much of turmoil, suffering. They say he retired to forest and we don't know what happened afterwards. So this is called spiritual accident. The tendency is, as soon as you try to live some kind of discipline, you immediately pose as if you are a big man. Then religion is not to be shown like that externally. It's the inner life. Manifest the qualities. Quality life is important. Don't jump to lead the people. First you realize the truth, establish yourself properly, be convinced that you are right. Then if you are commanded by the Divine Spirit, then you go and teach if you want. Not till then. No, it is a warning signal, that's all. For example, you are climbing the Kedar mountains. There are warning signals. Blind curve. Suppose the warning signal is not there, there's every chance you may fall down. In the same way, if you know that such spiritual accident might occur, you can be careful. It helps you. In spite of it, one may fall. That's a different thing. Anyway, you will rise again. That's all. Nothing is lost. Nothing is lost. See, you can't break your journey. Temporarily you may break, but you have to continue. Each soul has to realize his true nature. Each soul is potentially divine. That's all. There's another story. There are many stories are there. It becomes a story because after a long period, if it is told, it becomes a story. Even if Sri Ramakrishna's life, so much records, everything is there, after 1,000 years you tell, it looks like a story. There was one Saurabha Rishi, it comes in Ramayana, who was a great austere saint. He used to meditate inside the water. For long hours he could control his vital breath, pranayam. Because he knew the technique, he followed the technique and he could live that way. He continued that practice for sufficiently long time, for many years. One day, it so happened, some fish, sometimes the fish, they play about in the water. He happened to see the fish playing together, the male and female enjoying together. That was enough. It kindled him like anything, because he had so much control, all blasted out. Let me try. Let me go and have this samsara, married life. So he went to the king. He had become old and he was famished body and with long beard and not so beautiful to look from the worldly point, from the worldly sense. So, but he is going and asking the king, that king had many daughters. Will you please, I want to marry one of your daughters. You give your daughter to me. He's asking directly. He was shocked. Firstly because he has already become old. What kind of enjoyment he will have with the daughter, and what daughter, her life would be ruined because he doesn't know the power of this rishi. Anyway, then he thought of a plan, because he was afraid, suppose this sage tells something unpleasant, that will be dangerous to him. So he not avoid that. What he said was, please, my daughters are there living in the apartments. You please go. I will send one attendant with you. You go with him. You meet them. Whomsoever wants you to marry, let them marry. So he was under the impression that nobody will opt to marry him. That was the king's idea. But when he went, he thought, oh, the king is sending me probably with this idea. Because he had practiced so much of discipline, immediately he, by his yogic power, he became full of youth and beauty. So much fascinated. And when he came and looked at the daughters, everyone was amazed to see. They could not see such a beautiful person anywhere. They said, all of them were saying, I want him to marry, I want him to marry. Everybody wanted to marry him. So what the king would do? He has to give all the daughters to him. And he married all of them, and he took them all, went to a place, went to a forest. By his yogic power, he created the mansions for them. All sorts of things he did, so that to make them feel happy always. Like that he lived for many years, enjoying the sensual life. So much so, one day he felt disgusted. What a terrible state I have come into now. What was my virgin state? Now what is my position? Hopeless. So he became totally dejected. But that total dejection came after the accident. Anyway, why I am telling you that, see, you don't know what type of weakness is there in your mind. So don't boast yourself that you have conquered lust, that you have conquered anger, you have conquered jealousy, you have conquered hatred. Don't talk like that. Be humble. Be humble. Pray to God, oh Lord, I am your child. Please protect me, guide me. That's the way. So, these are all lessons for us. And Sri Ramakrishna himself tells, Sri Ramakrishna practiced all the Tantra Shastra, and he said, these are all very dangerous. Sri Ramakrishna himself tells that. So, take the ideas, practice them sincerely. If you are sincere and honest, God will help you always. God will help you. I myself have seen when I went to Kedar, before coming to Chicago, I went to Kedar Badri. I was so happy to see that Kedareshwar, Lord Shiva in the Kedar mountains. When I was going there, I went by horseback because I could not walk. Even going by horse is not so easy. You have to balance it. And while going you won't feel, while returning you feel all the body aching. I saw there, narrow means complete narrow. Valley, thousands of feet below. You can see Ganga running. One careless step means you will be in the 2000 feet below. And some have fallen like that. So that's why the warnings are given and so many steps have been taken in spite of it, but it minimizes. But it's a great pleasure. With all that, then I went to Gangotri, I went to Gomukh also. Gomukh is a place where Ganga comes through. It was so beautiful, but it is so difficult to reach the place. What happens is even horse cannot go. They say, Swamiji, you have to walk. It's a small distance. You can see it, but nothing like going near it. Seeing is not going near. You must go near. It looks so near, but you have to go there. That means you have to crawl, you have to jump over the rock. I did all those things. Finally I reached the place. It was October before Kali Puja, before Deepavali, after Durga Puja. It was cold, no doubt. But I ventured to take a bath there, Ganges, pure Ganges. Like a baby it comes there. And I was so happy to see that. There was one person along with me. He meditated there. I took bath. We sprinkled water. Anyway, that's a tremendous experience. What a great joy I had throughout my return journey up to Calcutta. That sweet memory was in my mind. It may be difficult, but you enjoy it. So spiritual life is also like that. It is difficult, no doubt, but you will have the beauty of it also. You enjoy it nicely. We shall stop at this point. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quenched that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. O how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who steals the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from the darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear, may the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.